I find it surprising that I was wondering, like, what is the what is the opposite of harmonic? Because I'm a musician and I know what that is. It's a really healing thing to be of harmony, right? It's healing. Everybody, that's just, what do you know of harmony, really? But I know, I'm a musician and I know how you play music is you start using the harmonics of it, and you'll see a spectrum that is in harmony, and that whatever that is, it's a huge geometric thing form. It's actually a huge, wow, it's, when you play music, if you learn to play any of the little bit of it, you're actually going to start learning everything that you need to learn of any kind of math, which is everything that you need to learn in case you have to learn anything else. And that is, now I'll put at the end, worthwhile, because there's that false learning, right? The education that you're just going to chug away and do something, and it's like you can even do, you're working with the same material, but you don't have that mathematics down. You don't have that like flow of the universe. The very, what music really is just all of this math crammed into one. It's all math. It's like the only way to do math, really, because then when you start separating it apart away from the sound that is, and the way that it can get into your psyche, really your whole entire mind lights up with the same math that you are. It's geometry. It's kind of overwhelming when you start trying to do just in numbers and particles and numbers. No, but when you do it in math and music, I would say you can pull up. Say, I do. I talk about it, and thanks for listening to this. We have, like, okay, so algebra, or say the more complicated maths, calculus or whatever they're doing there, who knows? But you figuratively, really, see the fractions. That is more up there with jazz and classical music. Just the spectrum that they show you. It's like, no, it's not actually just whole notes. You have half notes. You split that apart, but that's all equal to this, and it's like, whoa, yeah. And but it's real. It's working with something that you're getting it when you hear it. You just hear it and you go, ah. See, that's some people. I don't know how, but okay, it's scientists. You see, mainly a man with doing numbers and working math that way, and I guess they get energy from it. And yes, they're working geometry, and they talk about it. They're like, pretty soon they're like, and as soon if you're an atheist, then all you have to do is do math, and at the bottom of the cup, drink that elixir of the math that's there, and you will hit God eventually. Which is what they're saying is, once you get into outer space, all of the math is carried there, and it's like, well, welcome to being a musician, and that's what we're working with. If you're a real live musician, you know that. You're just like, what is it? Something, the common language here would be blues, but you don't know the blues of America that goes on in New Orleans. It's kind of, let's not lose it. They're losing music really quick with the jingles on the commercials that don't have any timing. It's weird. Anyway, the blues scales that are common that people can use to it's the first thing they use to communicate right off. If you don't know each other and you don't have any pieces of music, I don't it should just be a freestyle blues, follow each other, mystical. Don't play Mustang Sally. If you do, you're going to have to go see. You're doing addition there, or minus, just basic math. Everybody knows that, it's easy. That's kind of like country music, but then see, there's a way to jazz up country music and just go into the. By the way, we have outer space here, and we're going to work with the whole spectrum of harmonics, and which is algebraic and whatever curriculum. Calculus and fractions is what I always just come up and do. Are we splitting up into just looking at into the detail of the harmonics that are there, the possibility of which is the nature of the plasma of outer space. What we consider outer space right in front of our noses, and indeed, if you narcissist, even if you went this way, eventually, there's going to be a curve, and then you're going to start hitting a space, and then, um, well, I know we can't prove that curve to you, because, see, the binary processor only sees the motherboard of their particular. See, well, you're a computer, you're interacting with reality, and you're just, you can see it as flat. It's peculiar, but it's like, but what do you think about the mountains and stuff like that? And There's the ocean that kind of proves too that there's a curve, and you wonder, well, why? Does it make sense? Well, the planet is mainly water. It's mainly water. It's not really an Earth. It's like a water. Yeah, I'd love to know the real live shape of it under there. And but even having said that, supposedly, it's made of liquid within the mantle. And in fact, that mantle, I mean, the lava and the heat, it creates a forever water fountain. Because if you heat up nickel iron meteorites that fall out of the sky, nickel iron metal, if you heat it up enough to the let's say to the tune of like 5,000 degrees, the gas that emanates is H2O in steam form, and then if there's a vortex or something, it can be caught up and it can circle back around. Technically, the vortex for Earth would be the ionosphere, ion. So you notice the word iron has the word ion in it. There's just an R there that probably says, well, you should look into this further. It looks pretty intense, that frickin' word. If you know what the I is, if you know what the O is, and how there's an on. I tried to explain earlier about the word because. Well, the word cause has the word use in it, but you can even reduce it down even more. I mean, but you have to keep your vowels back capitalized, and know what that is you have a cup there, and then you have energy. Okay, so the S, I would beg to say that isn't that thing is kind of pulling from one dimension and throwing out to the other. There's like almost a cup there that's it's spilling, just about. But see the E, but don't confuse. In the word use, there's us. See, usage, that's just like yeah, it's interesting, but so that's the even more reductive bird in the word that is very real. We are being used here. Otherwise, if you don't know that, it's possible you're being abused. See, you have to change your puny little mindsets to something about your language and understand that you have to participate like this if you want this to change. And I'm going to keep being so serious about it because we have like 5 days left before they start to try to do things according to their, like, everybody's mindset that they have been programmed on that says, oh, it's the new year and we do certain things. We're going to do it like this with AI and we're going to implement this and something's going to happen by January 20th. And correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the presidencies and that's when the new president is officially in office, and we already see a lot of what he's connected to, which Donald Trump is connected to Tesla, just kind of rubbing elbows. His family is deeply connected to them, and they are connected to time travel efforts to try to bust through into space travel. Legitimate. He is the one who is saying that we need a space force, and then everybody laughed at him, and then pretty soon he put a mask on it. But really, he's doing what the Intergalactic Monitor would have what are doing. They want you to see it in plain sight, something so-called that you're like submitting or consenting, and there's where it's like fair play. But see, it's deception down here, and those people, what Trump and see, it's a stuck race down here. There's part of the organism is kind of stuck. We can say it's in a loop field of stuckness. All right, you want to talk about your narcissistic faction again? Like, where do they end up? They end up in politics. They end up in religion. They end up in, oh God, they end up in the world. Hello, world. Are you fashioned full of narcissists that are lost in the word? Talk about the word. No. See, that's where they got it wrong when they said God built creation on the word. That's fucking narcissist right there. Sloppy language, by the way, very sloppy. The word, well, you look at the word world. Now we get it. See, they're hijacking, obviously, they've hijacked a lot of the technology, a lot of the opportunity here. They're just fucking with us. It's kind of funny. Kind of. There's a serious disease here, and we're not going to be like Mr. Nice Guy. No more Mr. Nice Guy. No more funny. I mean, only in the privacy of our own homes. And it's like, excuse me, you're not invited here unless you have a smile on your face and you bring your heart as light as a feather. And are you here for us? Do you know about we? Because you are me, and I am you, and you are me. And this is pertaining to every single. See, this is needs to come up. We're talking about a singularity. They fucking hijacked that. See, there's a polarity happening. See, they hijack it. They say, oh no, they're going to rise up like this. They're going to come into the singularity. They're going to find their own language, the symbol system. They're going to start activating. Well, we need to do this and remote control and implement that. See, I do not doubt that by the time. Thanks for listening to this. By the way, like and subscribe if you like your seriously disturbed part of the faction of people that are just perfectly alive. By the time, here I'll try to be stoic. By the time that Mars hits and lights up with Pluto for the first time. Pluto is in Aquarius, which is January 1st. Boy, if the cosmos doesn't want us to say, look, you think there's a change coming? Stay in bed, you hungover people. Because what happens when Mars goes back into Cancer, I suspect, see, there something could happen, might happen to the point where a good portion of humanity, it's meant to send them back fleeing into their shells, like the Cancerian thing. They just get more and more introspective, and it's not necessarily a good thing. See, they hijack that opportunity that we definitely are going into winter, and it happens to be that Mars in Cancer, and we do get a light activation right at the beginning of the January, and we're in Capricorn. We can look at this Capricorn Sun. Lots of stuff went on with the Capricorn Sun, right? And we have the sneaky. Well, you see, you have people lighting up with that. That's all. They get stressed out on it, and it can be pretty mean. You could say the word mean because Aries is involved with it, and if when they're not feeling well, and they can get mean. Um, Libra's involved with it when they're not feeling well. You just know it, man. They're under the weather usually by Christmas because it's getting closer to this shit, and then it's like we don't have money. We didn't even figure that out. See, with the Pluto going into Aquarius, it's going to light up my generation, who I call my generation. They are the people who are born around about, well, at the very end of 69, more like in 70s, to around about, well, whenever Uranus finally gets out of Aquarius, Libra, which is around about 78, but right in between there, Pluto was also there too, really working on the organism about their consideration or just the truth about relationships, Librian issues, which, well, it's so involved now, it's our love life. They used to say, see, Libra says I love. Until the 40s, um, all the material that you can find written in English up until the 40s about the World War II, the Second World War, before the 40s, all the material says, in fact, Libra's keywords is I love. But now it's after the 40s, it's I balance. And it's because they do say that it has to do with money. See, we missed something with that. I'm bringing it up. I'm a full-on 5 planets in Libra with these conjunctions with the planets that are generational. I'm like lighting up with the generational value of it, and I don't really get along with the people my age because there is a heavy-duty like my Pluto is right on their. Well, my personal planets are is right on their generational karmic thing, and a lot of people who don't get it, and they believe in marriages, and they're doing the false justice system and the false everything system. See, that's where we're looking at. It's like love is the one that we follow. Okay, is this the same video? Because full round, I make that circle. I was saying, well, there's some kind of intelligence here that it's been hijacked, right? And the need to know. See, this is the thing: is people think that narcissists they think that the mechanism of attachment development is love. See, the psychological mechanism of attachment development happens through when you're first born. You have these mechanisms that are just installed. You don't even know that they're happening, but you have to do these things. You have to go through it. So you can watch it if you're conscious enough as a child that they start to mimic the tribe. They'll mimic the parents. They're not conscious yet. They don't have the mind of their own. It's called attachment development. They are doing it. They're becoming lovable to the tribe because they start mimicking the tribe, doing things. Well, it's bad enough that they are dressing them up and really making them what they want to be, but now that, of course, they're mimicking. So this is a real live bond that happens that doesn't have anything to do with love. See, people just don't know child psychology because the kid is not going to stay your dolly not past the age 4. You could try and string it out, but by the age 6, you're going to have a little rebellion there. Thank God, if it's going to be healthy enough and help anybody else in the future that's trying to save its own life. And see, the mechanism is that, well, yeah, you think that that's love. See, the way that they cling on and mimic and just go with you, and you're like, see, that's the thing it's like a no-brainer for narcissists who don't know what love really is. They say, especially women, I've seen it, and you see it backfire, and you see just, it's not worth it, babe. The children end up kind of, they really have a very personal, hey, if they can get through it, they can help people, and do they ever? Oh, man. A lot of times it's just this echo off in the distance. It's just repeating, and the freaking rehabilitation fucking buildings are all filling up, includes the prisons, and then especially, yeah, hospitals that are full of people who are maiming themselves with whatever, and trying to commit suicide. How about that? But yeah, the rehabilitation centers, and just, I don't have any stake in the matter because I just I leave it up to somebody else to do it. And I try to love everybody from where I am, my neighbors, all their children, you know. And so anyway, this thing that's coming up with the planets, I suspect that they will hit something. They'll try to just really interrupt our systems, our nervous systems that are due for a total overhaul and healing. And yeah, money might be pissed about how that we might figure out that we could hold on to each other through a safety net here. See, what's going to happen, and I don't know if you know this, see, I don't talk about it. See, the government is going to start putting money into this system for a reason. It's because we have access to it, but if we don't wake up them to that we are woke about, okay, first of all, it's just, you don't really have to like start knowing your jargon and talking directly to something like change your life. No, if you're on this thing, you have a typewriter, and but it's good that you participate more and more, though. Become more and more of the spirit of the human being and come together. This is the whole point. It's not to stay segregated. There's a singularity that's supposed to happen, and you're not supposed to allow them to hijack it. You know your own language, and you get back to the garden by just seeing what's really there. As I'm telling you, I go on my playlist. What's there is her. You just play with it. The word we're talking, word, right? Uh-oh. Well, I'm not going far from reality, am I, though? Because there's her. Inside of her is he. Don't never forget that, because there's the R reverse rule. I want to specify the R reverse rule. I almost forget the exact flow, but it has to do with flow. Really, just basically look at that word and type it in your computer. Every possible word that can come out of it, because that's what we need. We need more detailed people to get into this game. But make sure you're going like this with your sentences that says, I am awakened and I take the freedom to capitalize anywhere, anytime. What does that mean? You're going to get your money here. I'm going to try and keep rounding it up to you, babes. I'm going to keep trying to do it. I'm being attacked a lot. Okay, so your language is already here. The bank means to build up a wall or something. It's war machine stuff. And we don't have to be like ignorant that you are in a war. And see, there's warriors here, not soldiers, warriors. See, the word war is in warrior. What the hell is soldier mean? Sold. Hello. I'm going to keep going here. I'm from the future, by the way. Your future. Aquarius, moon 14 degrees, trine Mars, 369 feeling fine with 26, 28 Mercury conjunct Uranus. Saturn squaring that in a bowl shape. I have Neptune trine my ascendant, trine the part of fortune in a grand trine of fire. Neptune will set me off. Coming up, I am a leader, and all of the organism is going to continue to awaken. By the time it's April, there is going to be a stand. We're going to capitalize the letter A and say, look how that stands. All it is, okay, what stands, babes, is atomic assemblage. We're here. What do we need to do first to even have anything else here? Really? Now, this is a woman speaking, babes. There's something missing. I'm getting back to this Mars-Pluto thing where, okay, where is Venus right now? See, but you see, the higher octave of Venus is Neptune. And what's happening with Neptune? Very sneaky. Very sneaky. It's like the light of the party that nobody can see over there. It's like this luminous. Who, by the way, your screen and technology is ruled by Neptune. TV is ruled by Neptune because of a profound reason. It's as well as Neptune points at water, 100%. It's a planet full of water. It's just like they say it's just a huge ocean or something. Um, So it's the higher octave of Venus, and see Venus. That means that like Venus has a little helper over here called Neptune, which is spirituality. It is the highest of high known. See, otherwise it becomes. See, if you really don't know how the nature of reality is rendering through us, bringing down the truth. I mean, it's an experiment here. We can keep talking about it. We're a technology. Don't let them hijack you. Um, okay, so let your own feelings hijack you. See, a lot of people will be fake when they continue to reject our emotional lives, like how we respond emotionally. Like, hey, it's really complex, but you'll start crying for no reason at all, and then it's because somebody got harmed somewhere or something. Your animal, something happened, and you have to let it happen. You're going through a transformation. It's not even that somebody got harmed. It's that you're purging out the old you. Something of you is dying. Maybe you did get harmed. Maybe you need to change, and you can't ignore the time. See, the time usually when you're being washed clean is when you use salt water, and that comes from your tears. See, this whole place is made of salt water. The whole place is sown with seeds of sorrow here, and you must not take it on all by yourself. For one, I'm here, you're here on this. We need to create a banking that says, boy, it sure is stressful, but we don't need that stress creating system out there complicating things, nor do we need their diseases. See, and so getting back to, okay, so how do we do this, Shauna? I made a breakthrough just recently, and I'll try and get back to you about this now, okay? Because I'm going to keep I'm really, really digging, and I'm a leader, okay? And this might not, see, I'm going to keep refining. I'm going to put this in my playlist that talks about the New Age interfacing system that has to do with our new economics that needs to happen because they're going to give us money. They're going to give us a chance. There's always a chance for us, babes. With every medium that comes up that tries to computerize us, um, monetize us, program us. It's pure benevolence here, by the way. Once you get on the side of what I'm saying, that like you just let go and say, no, it's not like you think. You just okay. So if it's if it's that way, then we have to just form our own. I would like to say vortex, but the word is right there, banking. It's because there's a current. See, now whose current is it? Now the current could mean the present moment. It could be like who owns reality itself here, like really. But currency, currents, currency. very peculiar language that I'm going to keep unfolding you in front of your face, unfolding for you in front of your face. That me, see, because it's not fixed yet, uh, I have to still beg for money, and I have to go through this feelings, this projections, and also worrying about all of these other people that feel like that they have to slave for it and that they're doing the right thing. And see, it's time to, okay, so we're in the middle of masterminding. I am, but see, here's the thing. Your government, now, if it's global, if Donald Trump is a global entity, and they are, I mean, the United States supposedly is, whatever that means, the United States, okay. Talk about a contradiction in terms. They get a hold of money. They let the public know. They talk to us. They talk, and they have speech right in front of our face that tells us the troubles that they're coming up against, some of the challenges that they are, what it really is, what it is about AI. How will they use the new monies going into the, see, whatever brand you are and the industry? See, they start talking about it and they're like, well, but still a gap with what? Your language. And that, do you think you want some of that money, you guys? You guys are human beings here, aren't you, or are you not? See, otherwise you're listening to them and you're thinking that they're going to figure it out for you. A non-human being says that they are they're doing the system, and they're not going to wake it up with this. What I'm talking about, this here. Well, it's been 25 years and nobody has figured it out, but I finally figured it out. Just 12 years. I'd sacrificed a lot. My eyes nearly going bad, but I was rendered into trance. I was intercepted by benevolent beings, and they're saying, no, this is the way you play this game. And now I'm just going to make it like I'm going to keep staying here until, as long as that I feel that I will keep digging, and I won't hit a rock or hard ground that says, oh no, I'm totally crazy. No. You know when you hit your purpose and something real, when your heart starts pounding really good, you get healed by it. Yeah, and see, the way that I'm doing it, babes, is I've been meditating a lot all my life, and that allows another whole thing of you're becoming a receiver now, and I'm very much a person of communications. If you knew, okay, astrologically, and what is coming up for us with Gemini, Uranus and Gemini this year, coming up this 2025, is a profound year for us all, especially my generation. But for us all, the organism itself, starting year day one, January 1st, coming up in 4 days, a lot of people are going to see. You need to take care of yourself. I would suggest that fast, fast for like 4 days if you're kind of overweight or something. So you don't want to get the part where it actually sends you more into disease, because you're a light body, so you can get a back problem. I mean, your back problem, do yoga. Practice, and I'm not saying you need to just turn into a pretzel. And can't you do yoga? I can't really. I do what I can. You can find it here, yoga for dummies. But the idea is this: get this. It's all about the breathing, the way that follow the instructor, how they tell you how to breathe, and just do a minor stretching. And if you have any pain, because your body is trying to wake up, it's called the Kundalini rise, babes. If you're my age, could be happening for you. It's just a process that you're going through, and I suspect that once it happens, you become this flowing thing where with the cosmos it could be synchronized. Of course, and wow, we never lived in such times that we have now. We are experiencing a download from the sun, a solar flare that happened Earth facing, that we are all hooked up into that. See, now if your body, your electric body, is if you're experiencing blockages and it's turning into pain, do yoga, start breathing fast, fast. Take your body weight down, babes. Heal yourself. Sorry, I'm not a doctor, And see, the thing is like, no, you don't ever really heal here. See, the thing is what I mean is, yeah, no, no, you probably like fatter people, looking people, I guess, and I know that I'm underweight. I know that I'm looking like a skeleton. I know I can have a better muscle mass. I'm trying to help myself. I do. I'm kind of being I'm going through a transformation that I'm not at all used to. See, I'm less physical now. I'm more etheric than ever. I've always been etheric, and that's what's kind of driven me. I miss. See, I'm having to reorientate my physical life. First of all, we're all kind of in transition this way, and we might have to hang for just another. See, not only the winter time, but that's why you want to practice yoga. It's just that's all you need. I kind of worry too much, and it can go into your body, and it's like you should move your body so that it stops the worry that your mind. It stops your mind when you start moving your body, and just enjoy how beautiful that feels. Thanks for listening to this. I didn't mean to get. I don't want to be somebody who sounds. I know that people, for the most part, they would think that I am like a snob, and that I'm like, I like one of these people who passes judgment on people and who is prejudiced against certain people. It's like, no, I am discerning, and I feel for everybody. I feel deeply for people, and but you notice like the conflict that you can come across people that are just challenging that statement right there because they don't feel for themselves, and they have a lot of karma with their like calluses that they have. They're callous somewhere. No, I would say like look for your wherever your Aries is. See, I should talk because I'm an Aries rising, and that's like right away. That's what you think you see is a callus. That's your rising sign. It's all that is. Now talk about your shell. All that is your facade, your holographic field. It's your expression, your physical body. There's a soul in there that's different. So you have a soul which rules the sun. The sun rules the soul, kind of the heart, the seat there, and that's your ambition. That's what mainly people say. No, you're your sun right sign, right? And everybody thinks that they're their sun sign, and I'm actually opposite of Aries, which is the sun sign of Libra, which gives me my trippy quality kind of dynamic here, where it's just like, man, there's a lot of motion going on here, and before I burn up and disintegrate, I'm going to leave a legacy wherever I go. And I happen to be on social media right here. A legacy means that, well, I not only pull something up that nobody ever seen of it before, but you can use it. Really, it's okay, and don't abuse it by turning it into something other than just precisely what it is. Try to, if it's really a use, which I find it more useful, what I'm doing, than all of the study I've ever done in my life, which is I've done music, and I'm doing gardening and stuff like that. See, if we know that we're in an arena right here, and you're doing a lot of typing, and we have economic structure, and it's connected with the human ecology, maybe, you know, like on a level that you don't even know what we're talking about. See, if we are light beings and human beings, we are operating on a whole different way of like our intuition, and we are artists. And I didn't just say that we just fluff off um, having to farm. And no, we figure out how to do that. We figure out how to feel good with that. People really want to do it, and it's a fucking fight. It's a war against all of us. Now, how do we like take our right to remain silent and start opening up I was going to say judicial system, or just a justice and operations of standing trial, instead of this individualized shit where nobody ever wins. Here it is. Social media, babes. Am I not getting through to people? I'm an impatient person, that's all. I'm riding this wave, and I'm going to keep and see. Well, how do we do it, Sean? Try it. Try to affect your phone. You'll see it's a fight at first, but start programming your phone. There's an option right down there at the left. There's 3 slots, and it's going to ask you, do you want to save this configuration? Like in the word language, program it to say an age. Program your phone. The next time you type language, which you probably don't because you don't use language very much, but when you do, start programming your phone, and it's going to ask you, do you want me to save this configuration? It'll just show it. It'll show it right there, and then hit it to where the word language in capital lettering, the birds that show up there says an age.